What's up, everyone? Mike here. Got a great video for you guys this morning. So today we're going to be talking about the Reishi mushroom, the Ling Z, the Ling Chi, the mushroom of immortality, the Ganoderma. We're going to talk about where you can find it, how to identify it, and a whole lot more. Let's go. So here it is, the Reishi mushroom. Let's all just gain a basic understanding of this mushroom right now, kind of about how it looks and where we can find it fruiting. Now, the reishi mushroom tends to always grow on stumps or deciduous trees. You can find it spring through fall. You can also see that it has these colorful bands, red and yellow colors with this white leading edge on the reishi mushroom. We also have about 10 different subspecies of Ganoderma that you can consider reishi in North America. So today we are just going to talk about the reishi mushroom in general. All right, everyone, so that is the reishi mushroom. I hope we have kind of a basic understanding of it now. Now, as far as when you can find this mushroom, what is the best time of year to go out into the woods and search for it? Well, you can find the reishi mushroom anytime spring through fall. I personally feel like I collect my best specimens of the reishi mushroom summer through fall. So anytime right now, actually, if you go out into the forest and take a look, you might be able to find some beautiful reishi mushrooms. So I definitely recommend going out now and taking a look and just seeing what you guys can find. So now that you know now is actually a good time of year to go looking, let's talk about some of the key identifying features. Okay, now let's talk about some of those key identifying features. I'm going to show you some younger specimens, and I will show you progressively older photos as some of these age. Now, this is a young reishi specimen. Here's another one. Notice how it has that glossy appearance. It has the red, it has some yellow, it has that white leading edge. These are all key identifying features. These are polypore mushrooms, okay? So there are pores on the bottom side of these mushrooms. They're very hard, kind of woody, and the larger they get and the more mature they get, they form into these structures called conchs. As you can see, they're starting to kind of flare out in this kidney type of shape. And notice all of these are either growing on a tree or a stump of some kind. And just kind of notice the size of these as they begin to age. They just get larger. Here's a really good photo of one kind of growing vertically up along a tree. And just notice it's got all those little white edges. That indicates the mushroom is still fairly fresh, actually, and growing. Here is another photo. This is one of the ones I showed earlier. This has got that big conch formation, and notice some of the other ones there on the side of the tree going up the tree. This one is pretty mature at this point. Here is another photo of that same tree fruiting. I just wanted to show it from another angle here. And these are prime specimens. These are great to pick right now. They have substantial size to them, but yet they are not overripe or over mature. Here's a nice close-up of one of those ones that was on that tree that you can see. This is a prime specimen of reishi. I actually did harvest this one, and I brought this one home with me on that day. Now let's look at a few older specimens. So these are a little bit older. They actually have spores on them right now because the reishi does have a brown spore. And the underside of the reishi is whitish gray, and it is a polypore mushroom, so all of those are key identifying features. Now, here is an older specimen. You can see it no longer has that white leading edge, and it just has that glossy red type of finish on the top of the reishi mushroom. Now, here's even some more older specimens along the side of a tree going vertically up the tree. These are pretty old. At this point, I probably would not harvest these, and I did not harvest these in this photo. They're too past their prime for me. Okay, so hopefully you guys have a good idea now of what the reishi mushroom looks like and where to kind of find it and things like that. Now, the reishi mushroom has no poisonous lookalike, so you got nothing to worry about there. I feel like this is a great mushroom for beginners to kind of learn on and go out in the woods and just kind of get used to observing mushrooms and looking for mushrooms. Now, remember, like I said, some of the key features were the glossy appearance, the red and yellow colors on it, that white leading edge on the fresher specimens. You'll find these things growing on trees or stumps. Another thing, too, talking about maturity of the reishi mushroom. Now, remember, when it has that white leading edge, it's still typically growing. Now, as that mushroom begins to fade a little bit, and maybe have more of a solid color on it and that no longer have that white leading edge, It is pretty much done growing at that point, especially if you see the spore residue, if you see any brown type of residue on these mushrooms. They are definitely pretty much done growing. The reishi, the bigger it gets, it will start releasing massive amounts of spores. Okay. One kind of crazy thing, the smell on these is very strong. I've actually, in a previous video, I've stated that I have smelled chicken of the woods before I've actually spotted it on a large fruiting. I've done the exact same thing with reishi, okay? Many times have I been walking along a river or a creek or something like that, and then I get a whiff of something that I know is Ganoderma, okay? And it's after you do this long enough, you'll pick up these kind of things, but I kind of feel like these polypore mushrooms and Ganoderma, the reishi, it does have a pretty distinct smell once you get used to having some around you. But for some reason, I feel like the polypore mushrooms, it might be the spore load they put off, but I definitely can smell polypore mushrooms more a lot of times than some of these other different varieties of mushrooms. Just a cool little fun fact about them, at least. So now that we've kind of talked about when we can find it, how to identify it, let's kind of talk about the things we can do with the reishi mushroom. So let's take a look at some of this. So here is actually a reishi mushroom tincture I made. This was the first reishi mushroom I ever tinctured. You can kind of see that red coming off it, that color that is being extracted into the Everclear. The reishi mushroom pieces are completely submerged in Everclear right now, and I will have more videos on extractions in the future. So if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel so that way you can stay tuned for more videos like this in the future. And we'll go over things about extracting different medicinal and functional mushrooms. But extracts are definitely some things people do with reishi because it's very woody and you can't really eat it. Now, if you did want to incorporate it in some food, you could put it maybe in like a crock pot meal like I did right here. Okay, so that's kind of cool. So the reishi is like this kind of woody conch. You can't really just like eat it, all right? If you wanted to eat any piece of a reishi, you might be able to cut off that little white edge when they're young and fresh, and it's kind of chewy and leathery, but not worth it, guys. If you're really trying to get those health benefits out of reishi that some people seek, you want to extract it in one way, shape, or form. Somehow, you know. So you could do a dual extract with like alcohol and hot water or something like that. And like I said, subscribe because I will have videos on that in the future. How you can do some like low tech extraction methods at home, and they work great. Very easy to do. And I also said basically you could put it in like a crock pot meal or something like that. Basically, what you're doing then is you're just doing a slow hot water extraction. And now I wouldn't recommend eating those conch pieces. Now, if you looked closely in that photo, I had antler pieces. Now, those are reishi mushrooms I actually grew. All right. But you could just put conchs in there too, but you'd want to take those out before you actually go to eat that meal. Now, talking about growing it a little bit, okay, I want to show you guys just a few photos of some of my reishi grows because if this is something you're interested in, it's a very easy mushroom to grow at home. You could literally grow it right in your living room in a bag, completely sealed, no spores even in the house in a method called in vitro growing. So let's take a look at some of my reishi grows. Now, I will do specific videos on growing the reishi mushroom in the future. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do that so that way you catch those videos in the future. This one was a Ganoderma multipilium grown in vitro within the bag. Here's another shot from another angle. You can see it makes these awesome antler-like formations. This mushroom is extremely easy to grow. I definitely recommend it for all beginners. Here's a shot of another strain of Ganoderma, another reishi mushroom I grew in vitro. And this is just another one I did a few years back. I actually prefer growing that other one I showed, the multipilium. Here is a video of a little bit larger multipilium grow I did. Now this is in my old mushroom shop, and these are in vitro reishi grows in the early stages. You can see those antlers coming up in those bags there. They only take about 2-3 months like this, and you can get some really nice size reishi mushrooms out of there. It doesn't take too long. Now, here's a video of one that I've kind of harvested, and I'm just kind of moving it around. I wanted to show you that reishi mushroom, the Ganoderma multipilium, outside of the bag. And notice how it has that white leading edge even on this antler form. That's an indicator that this mushroom is still growing. Really cool though, huh? All right, the reishi mushroom, everyone. So, like I said, I'll have more videos on growing this mushroom in the future. If you find that interesting, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can see those. Now, if you have any questions over the stuff I went over today, make sure you just put those down in the comments below, and I'll answer all your questions. Drop this video a like, guys. I hope you found this helpful and informative, and I will catch you on the next one.